So, episode 8 of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba continues with the fabulous pacing it has carried throughout the previous 7 episodes, in which the first half of the episode covers one chapter while the other half of the episode covers another one. This episode's first half specifically focused on covering the contents of chapter 14, a chapter titled Kibutsuji's Wrath / The Smell of Enchanting Blood, already giving you an idea of what exactly is in that chapter. While the second half of this episode focused on covering the contents of chapter 15, a chapter titled The Doctor's Opinion. The coverage of these two chapters also bring about the beginning of a new arc titled the Asakusa arc. Now, last episode did a really good job at introducing Muzan Kibutsuji. Immediately, we saw some of the things he was capable of, as with a single scratch, he was able to turn this man into a demon, and made him lose any sense of what he used to be. Part of chapter 14 and its content served to increase that fear we should have of Muzan, and help us acknowledge how lucky Tanjirou was by getting out of that situation, one his hot-headedness and desire for revenge got him in, completely unscathed, as we are shown quite graphically what this demon can do. I absolutely love the censorship this episode, or better yet, the lack of it. Seeing Muzan's finger actually pierce the young woman's forehead and then watching her completely turn into a puddle of herself shocked me, not because I wasn't expecting it, I just didn't expect them to show those events as accurately as they did. Another thing I was impressed with this episode were the visuals, especially with the adaptation of Tamayo's blood demon art technique, Enchanting Blood, Aroma of Visual Fantasy. Basically, this blood demon art technique makes it so anyone who is hit with the scent of Tamayo's blood is susceptible to one of her visual techniques. This episode we saw her use the Aroma of Visual Fantasy, which simply surrounds the target with these beautiful flower patterns which hinders their vision. And also, throughout this chapter, we learn a bit more about Tamayo and her sidekick, Yushiro. Mainly that Tamayo is a doctor and someone who, like Tanjirou, seeks to destroy Muzan. Though it's chapter 15 where we really dive into the story of these two new characters. Right off the bat, I love how the second half of the episode really balances out with the first half. The first half obviously having a darker tone than the second half, as the second half it's basically filled with information and Nezuko shenanigans. But apart from that, anytime Tanjiro went sort of off-model or the art style changed, it was hilarious, as Hanae Natsuki also did a magnificent job with his voice acting. This little over-the-shoulder flip by Yushiro had me laughing for a lot longer than I'm willing to admit. And again, the way certain panels are adapted and certain blood demon art techniques are displayed leaves me ridiculously happy with the results we've been getting since episode 1. Though thematically, I do think this episode had a message that it was trying to convey, and chapter 15 is pivotal to that message. A message centered around demons, but more so how different they can be. Yeah, our experience with demons up until now have mainly been of the negative variety, with tons of near-death experiences, not only of our main cast, but also of regular civilians as they are targets of demons or just end up getting put in the middle of things. Though, like many things from our world, we can't let our negative perception affect the way we view everything. Even if an overwhelming majority of demons are indeed bad, that doesn't mean there's not the odd bunch like Nezuko, Tamayo, and Yushiro that try not to fall into that majority. Tamayo being quite similar to Nezuko in the sense that she was also once a human that was turned into a demon by the hands of a Muzan Kibutsuji. And while it was believed that Muzan was the only demon that could turn humans into demons, after 200 years, Tamayo was able to find out how to use this power for good rather than evil. Tamayo uses this ability as a means to give people second chances and only does it with their permission, rather than forcefully making a person completely forget about themselves and everything they hold dear. Muzan, although we aren't aware of what it is yet, obviously has a goal. I mean, he's the main antagonist of the series, he has to. But while that aspect of him is still unclear to us, a lot about him was shown to us this episode. A demon, to our knowledge, have two weaknesses: a Nichiren blade through the neck and the sun itself. And while Muzan is a capable fighter, he cannot beat the sun in a battle of fists, which is why he's so calm when he's being pestered by drunks, but cannot take comments about the look of his skin. The fact that Muzan is so pale is the only aspect of himself he cannot control. It's the only aspect of himself he cannot do anything about. Whether he creates the demons for the fuck of it or not is also something that at the moment is open to discussion. But he does have his uses for some of them and a reason for giving them some of his blood. Right now, there's one thing on Muzan's mind, and it's that kid that threatened him while he was out for a walk with his family. It's the kid with the scar on his forehead and the kid with the Hanafuda-like earrings, which obviously holds some significance to Muzan. The road ahead for Tanjirou that was laid out to us by Tamayo is a difficult one. It's one that's filled with blood and therefore many battles, many demons, and many deaths. And even if he and his sister manage to make it to the end of the road with both their lives intact, there is still a chance that all of their efforts would have been for naught. I mean, Tamayo is essentially banking on the idea that with enough of Muzan's blood which would either come from him directly or the demons he creates, that she could hopefully find something to go off of and create a medicine that will help Nezuko and possibly many other demons that, like the demons in this room, have been able to control themselves and cause no harm to others. And while yes, this is only a possibility, a simple chance that Tamayo's words hold some truth is better than nothing. Which is why Tanjirou can so solemnly accept the request Tamayo asks of him. I mean, all it really takes is one glance over at Nezuko for Tanjirou to be reminded of who and what he's fighting for. It's not just Nezuko. Muzan took everything from them. And that's why no matter how irrational the request or strong the demon in front of him may be, as long as it's a path filled with the blood of Muzan Kibutsuji, there's no telling how far the kid with the Hanafuda-like earrings will go. But hey, these are my thoughts and I'm curious to read yours. If you are an anime only, let me know your thoughts on this episode and any predictions you may have. How do you think Tanjirou, Nezuko, Yushiro, and Tamayo will fare against the pair of demons that have attacked their secret location and seem to have quite a rather unique fighting style? And if you're a manga reader, let me know how you felt Ufotable adapted this episode and what parts do you think they could have done a better job with, if any. Also, feel free to discuss anything I forgot to mention in the comments below. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, it helps the channel out a lot. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter, link in the description. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel and be sure to hit that bell. That way you don't miss a video and can keep on watching Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, and many other series with me. And with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.